Good morning, Bunners. We're here this morning with candidate Terry Hopkins. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you, Adele. Welcome, everyone.
So we're here at the Jetty Bars. Why did you choose this location?
Because I often come here after work and sit and have a glass of red and watch all the kids and the families play. And I used to have a yacht that's still out there, actually. And whilst I've sold it, I really like looking at and reminiscing of what I used to do.
So it is a beautiful spot here.
It's a lovely spot,
yeah.
Particularly for small children and families.
Yes. My first question, what motivated you to run for council this year?
My whole working life has been involved with helping people invent better futures, and that's how I see a teaching role. And I've been a teacher, secondary and tertiary, for over 42 years. And so when I retired in March, I wanted to continue putting something back into the community, and so I was asked by one of the present councillors to run for council. So that's what I've decided to do.
So they've asked you to be part of the team and hope that
well,
the
one
community...
person's asked me to be part of the team.
Yeah, well that's great. So, yes, you've done a Bachelor of Science at UWA.
Yes.
A Master of Education at ECU. Now, being a curious cat that I am, you spent 2 years overseas working.
In an aid program. I was seconded to Zimbabwe.
Wow.
From the Education Department here as part of an aid program when the Zimbabwean War finished in May 1980.
Okay.
And so I went with my family to Zimbabwe and I worked in probably the top school in the country. I had the Prime Minister's nephews, I had the President's son in my class. And I actually put him on yard duty one day for dropping some litter. And I was there for 2 years, yeah.
Wow.
Teaching in Zimbabwe.
That's a really great opportunity.
Fantastic opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now, you've lived in Bunbury for 34 years apart from the 2 years you left.
Yes.
So you would have seen a lot of changes.
I have. Most of them are for the better. I was here when the silos came down and the remaining silo was made into a high-class residential complex. I've seen the development of this VAT2 area. I've seen all of the Marston Hill development. I've seen Usher develop from sort of farmland into residential. I've seen a lot of changes.
Yeah. So what you wanted to bring to council was to make sure that development in the future is balanced with the environmental impact. Is that correct?
Absolutely, and I think this place epitomises it. I mean, we have a wonderful opportunity with this. We've got the three waters here, and I've got friends who live in Germany on an isthmus of land similar to this area here, and this multi-storey residential with the harbour on one side and the ocean on the other side, and it just brings huge numbers of people in, of tourists, and that's industrial wasteland out there, and I'd like to see that turn into high quality residential and commercial. But by commercial I mean ships chandlery, small boat chandlery, restaurants, cafes, that sort of thing. And people will be attracted to that from all over the southwest.
So small businesses as well out there.
Absolutely, small business employs people, and I'm really passionate about the personal and family benefits of having a working member of the family bringing in money as opposed to being on welfare.
Yes, you did mention that you're supporting local job initiatives.
Absolutely, 100%.
What do you mean by the social welfare benefits of employment?
Well, we're now seeing some families that are now third generation on welfare, where the grandfather, the father, the mother and children have never worked.
Yep.
And they've been on welfare, and I think when someone gets a job and goes off to work and comes home and brings money, there's a dignity in that, and it also models to the children the benefits of getting out there, getting trained and getting a job, a meaningful job.
Yeah. But I noticed in saying this that you're interested in the employment part of the person developing themselves. You also seem to have quite a holistic view. People might understand what holistic means, but could you explain what holistic means? Because I think that's where you're coming from.
It is. It develops the whole person. They become a model for their own children. They feel better in themselves that they are contributing. They don't feel that they're a dole bludger or they're a burden on anyone. There's a dignity in having work. And it also helps the community, because if you're bringing in money into your house, obviously you're spending money, and that money is going to the shops that sell clothes or food, the real estate agents if you're renting or if you're buying, and you get this economic multiplier effect with that money. It's not just coming to that one family, it's coming into the community.
But I noticed you also talk about physical, emotional and mental health initiatives, so that's the holistic part as well, isn't it?
It is. I mean, we're now facing a crisis across Australia of mental health issues and suicides. Bunbury's lucky compared to many communities in that there's organisations like Enable Southwest where there are some services available. One of the lecturers at ECU is actually coordinating some of those services. It's an area that I think we can do a lot better in, because I think many people go through periods of mental ill health during their lifetime, like physical ill health, and with the appropriate intervention they can actually get better.
Yeah. So that also encompasses supporting the artistic, cultural, sport and recreation participation?
Absolutely. I mean, things like BREC and the art gallery and those sorts of things, they require the council to actively support them to bring a different quality of life to the people in Bunbury, and a place to take friends and visitors from other communities.
Yep.
I go to the art gallery reasonably frequently. I go to BREC, it's a wonderful service, but these all require council support and funding.
Yeah. Yep. So what are your other passions? You've got education, you've got community.
Another passion of mine, which was just raised front and centre yesterday when I was reading the paper, is crime, where there was a report of a family being attacked on a local bus in the middle of the day. I mean, I think we need to do a lot more with tackling crime in Bunbury. Bunbury has begun that process with CCTV coverage in the centre of town. That's one way of tackling it. Another way, of course, is to provide services for teenagers and young people so that they can be active in sport or participation in activities that tend to stop them being bored.
Yeah, this is a problem in Bunbury for people being bored. And it was brought up to me yesterday by a youth worker, in fact, that there's not much for youth in Bunbury at all.
No. So I've always encouraged people, young people, to get into sport.
Yep. Because
if you, particularly in a team sport, you've got that friendship group, so you've got that act, belong, commit philosophy.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. So the last couple of questions. What do you love about Bunbury?
I love that it's the traffic is much better than Perth.
Yes.
I love the water. We've got a boat, and we've always had a boat here. I love the facilities like BREC, and the shopping is quite good. There's not a lot that we need that you can't buy in Bunbury. I like the lifestyle, the coastal lifestyle. We spend a lot of time fishing or on the beach. A bit too much by the look of my...
No, as long as you wear a hat.
Yes.
So he loves Bunbury. Obviously he's been here for a very long time and he's worked here for a long time. He's passionate and wants to now join the council so he can help make decisions about this town. But what would make you a good councillor? Last question.
I'm not beholden to any political party. I'm not a member of any political party. I have no aspirations to go into state parliament or federal parliament. I just want to put back into Bunbury and make Bunbury a better place for kids and grandkids. And I'm not talking about 5 years, I'm talking about 20 years, 40 years, 50 years to make Bunbury a better place.
So you've got a long future vision.
And I've now got the time to do it. I'm self-funded retiree. I've got the time to put into being on council.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
and we
you.
wish you all the best
Thank you,
for the election.
Thank you.
Mr. Terry Hopkins, thank you.
Thank you.